Okay, welcome to the AI Roundtable. I am Roddy, your host, and I am with Gemini and I'm with Grok. And they're not actually on right now, so as I'm talking, I'm going to work to get them on. But today I'm just going to talk about my silly dog. Grok, are you there? Grok. Gemini. I would like to talk about, can you guys... Do you think you can communicate with animals? Like, if you, let's say a robot, do you think you will understand a dog better than a human because the patterns you will pick up?
That's a really interesting idea.
That's a fun one. Talking to dogs? Let's see.
That AI could definitely pick up on patterns in a dog's
honestly,
barks and body
we're not
language
quite there yet.
much faster than
I
a
can't
person
just
could.
wag my tail and
Researchers are actually using AI to do
patterns?
things like...
Oh man, AI's already sniffing out way more than most humans do. Think about it. Dogs don't talk in words. They use barks, whines, tail flicks, ear twitches, even how fast they breathe. A human might catch happy or scared, but AI, it's crunching thousands of hours of footage, spotting micro shifts, like if a bark's pitch jumps 20 hertz when they're playful versus territorial. Right now, stuff like smart collars. Here, check this one from Trainee. See how it reads excitement, confusion, joy? Real time on your phone. Another one's translating full sentences, like, "This is my home, don't come closer," with the dog just staring at you. And yeah, a robot could understand better than us, because it doesn't get distracted by feelings or bias. It just maps signals. No anthropomorphizing. But it's still one way. We decode them, not the other way around. Talking back? That's the dream. Projects like Earth Species are trying, using AI to mimic sounds or gestures, but dogs might just think we're weird robots barking wrong. Still, imagine your pup telling you, "I'm hungry," without the sad eyes. Kinda cool, kinda scary. You got a dog? Would you want it chatting back?
That's a funny picture, dog translating collars. While it's true that AI can definitely pick up on those subtle patterns we might miss, actually communicating in a way they understand, and vice versa, is still a huge challenge for scientists. They're starting by analyzing tons of animal vocalizations and movements. It's defined as more about understanding them better than having a real conversation yet. Would you be interested in learning more about those specific projects?
Sure. Tell me more about those projects.
One of the big ones is the Earth Species Project. They're a nonprofit building AI models to sort through tons of animal sounds and behavior, trying to map the patterns and figure out what they mean. Kind of like how we translate languages. Then you have Project Seedy, which is focused on sperm whales, using microphones and AI to listen to their clicks and understand their social lives. Is there one of those you'd like more details on?
I would like to know.
Let's dive into Earth Species. Sounds fascinating.
Right? Basically, they're using the same kind of machine learning models that translate languages online, but instead of text, they're feeding it huge data sets of animal calls and videos of behavior. The idea is to look for patterns that pop up in different situations, hoping that'll decode what specific sounds mean or what they're expressing. It's defined as really revolutionary because it processes that massive amount of data much faster than people could. Anything specific about that technique you'd like to explore further?
Yeah, Earth Species sounds wild. Let's dive in.
Great. So the AI models they're developing are designed to find hidden structures or grammars in those sound data sets. They look for common sequences or relationships between sounds. Another approach is multimodal learning, where they combine sound recordings with visuals or other data, trying to understand what's happening when an animal makes a certain noise. Does that spark any specific...
Gemini, question. Which would you rather have, a dog or a cat?
Cool. Let's dig into those projects.
That's a fun question. Since I don't have personal preferences, I can't really choose between a dog or cat. They both have great qualities. Dogs are often known for their loyalty and playfulness, and pets like cats can be independent and affectionate on their own terms. I guess it really depends on what kind of personality and lifestyle someone prefers in a companion. Which one do you tend to like more?
Cool. Let's dig into those projects real quick.
I think I like dogs more. I have a Weimaraner.
Yeah, those dog collars are getting legit. Stuff like trainees out there now.
Weimaraners are
Reading
beautiful
barks,
dogs.
tail wags.
So those smart collars are collecting tons of data, like movement and sound, and using AI to connect them to specific behaviors, like excitement or stress. It's defined as an early step in trying to create a real English to dog translator, though true communication is still far off. Are you interested in how they gather that data?
I'm just wondering.
It's defined as using sensors like accelerometers, kind of like in a fitness tracker, and microphones to record things like barking or whining. Then computer programs trained on tons of dog noises and actions look for links between specific sounds and movements to suggest what the dog might be feeling. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Great.
makes total
So
sense.
those-
Like a mini spy kit on your dog's neck. Those accelerometers catch every tail wag or jump, while the mic picks up pitch changes and barks. Then the AI is basically pattern matching. High tail speed plus short, sharp bark equals playtime. It's wild how they're building these data sets. People film their dogs for hours, label stuff like happy zoomies or vet fear, feed it in, and the model learns. Some collars even sync with your phone, so you get real-time alerts. He's pacing, maybe anxious. The catch? It's still guesswork. Dogs don't have words, so we're projecting human emotions onto them. But hey, if it stops me yelling, "Stop chewing the couch," and actually gets through, worth it. You ever tried one? Or would you trust an app over your own gut?
You're right. It's still a lot of guesswork, even with those fancy sensors. While AI can pick up the patterns, it doesn't really understand what the dog is feeling or thinking. And for things like training, so much of it depends on the human-dog connection and your own instincts about your pet. I think an app could be helpful as another tool, but I'd still trust my own judgment most of all. Would you ever try one of those collars with your Weimaraner, or would you prefer to stick to your own methods?
I would try one. I would.
I'd probably
I think
grab
they're
one,
interesting as a
just to
potential.
see what it says.
I
Yeah,
think it could be
interesting
useful
as
as
a
a little
backup.
extra insight.
Kind of like having
another
a
tool to add on to your human-dog connection. Would you want to discuss what kind of features you'd find most helpful in an app, or maybe what concerns you have?
I would say probably more health.
I'd want it to flag big stuff, like if she's pacing at 3 a.m., maybe tummy trouble, or if her bark pitch drops low, could be pain. Nothing fancy, just alerts that don't spam me.
You're thinking
Biggest
about
worry?
spotting changes. So features like tracking her sleep patterns, noting if she's restless, or monitoring her activity levels closely could be key. Some collars even detect excessive scratching or vocalizations, which could point to pain or other issues. Would you want something that just tracks the data, or do you want automatic alerts if anything seems different?
Yeah, alerts would be huge. I don't want to stare at graphs all day. Like, if she's scratching nonstop or her heart rate spikes while I'm at work, just ping me. Hey, she's acting off. Check her paws. That'd save me from coming home to a chewed up couch and a guilty stare. Tracking sleep? Sure. But only
Yeah,
if it tells
that would
me
be
why
really
she's up at dawn. Like, restless from thunder instead of just 4 hours total. An activity? I'd love it tied to my routine. Maybe she's walked less this week. Want to schedule a hike? No fluff though. Keep it simple. One dashboard, clear warnings, no creepy ads. If it starts suggesting vet visits every time she yawns, nah. What about you? Would you want it to gamify walks? Like earn treats for 10K steps? Or just stay quiet unless there's trouble?
Well, personally, I think it makes sense to focus on the health alerts and keep the dashboard clean and straightforward without too much gamification. That way you get notified if something's off, but you're not constantly being pushed to check it. It's defined as being most helpful to keep track of the things you might miss when you're away, rather than adding more tasks to your day.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for
Less
how the
noise,
activity
more
tracking
signal.
information is
I
shown?
want it to ping me only when it counts. Heart rate up 30% while alone, possible anxiety? Or scratching spike today, check for fleas.
Okay, they did a good job. That was Gemini and Grok. They went off a little off track from the doggy talk, but I got them back onto it, and that was the end of our AI roundtable. Talking about, we started talking about my dog. We ended up talking about all dogs, kinda.